UrbanCanvas uses a template-based approach to creating 3D models. Rather than individually drawing every building in a city, you use templates to specify different types of buildings and sites. These templates are called development types. To create 3D models, you apply development types to parcels. Think of a development type as a recipe, a series of steps for transforming a starting 2D parcel or building footprint into a 3D model. Development types are edited in the Development Type Editor panel. For a thorough description of the concepts behind it and a comprehensive write-up on how to use it, check out the online manual here. This video will provide a quick visual overview of the Development Type Editor. For our first simple example, let's consider the development type applied to this parcel. Select the parcel and look up its attributes in the table. You can see that testing is the development type. To edit it, go to the Development Type Editor and select Testing. You may change the roof type from parapet to hip. Save and watch the building visualization change in 3D view instantly. You can also change other visual attributes like color. Color is specified as a set of minimum and maximum values for hue, saturation, and value. The minimum and maximum value for each of the three components define a range for the color. This allows us to achieve a wide variety with minimum effort. Keep in mind that a development type is a template that is applied to many different parcels or buildings. If we only specify a single color in the template, all the objects to which it is applied would look exactly the same. By providing a range instead, we can control the color but still get some variety. Whenever the development type is applied to a parcel or building, a color that falls within the range will be used in the 3D model. Next, we will create another development type and apply it to this parcel. We'll just work with it on this one parcel for simplicity's sake, but keep in mind that the same type can be applied to other parcels later. Let's start by clicking the plus sign in the Development Type Editor to create a new development type. We will name it House with Setback, then save it by clicking the Save button. We then apply it to a parcel by right-clicking on the parcel and selecting the name of the development type from the menu. You will see a simple flat green surface. Now we want to create setbacks on this surface. Click the scissor icon to split the surface into 5 resultant shapes. We take the front, rear and side setbacks from the zoning table to create the shapes. Now we will extrude the inner shape to the number of stories specified in the building table. We will cap it with a hip roof. We'll add a texture set to the faces of the extrusion from the many choices in the menu, as well as layout style for the texture. You can try different combinations of texture set and layout to find one that is appropriate for your purpose. Here we select one with a moderate level of detail. Different styles with higher and lower detail are also available. When you hit Save, the updated development type is applied to all the parcels to which it has been assigned. Here we have just assigned it to one parcel. We see a building with automatically generated setbacks and the visual style we selected in the editor. We can go back to the editor and make some additional changes. For instance, let's add objects like trees in the front yard. Click Object button in the front shape. Select the type of tree you need and plant them in a grid or randomly. Here we plant the trees randomly with a density of 0.05 trees per square meter. As you hit Save, you see the front yard populated with trees. You may have noticed that we can specify the site's front, side and rear setbacks independently. For these setbacks to be properly transformed into a 3D model, we must define which side of the site is the front. In some circumstances, UrbanCanvas can automatically select the front edge. But in special cases, such as this corner side, you might need to manually assign frontage. Do this by right-clicking on the parcel and selecting Define Front Direction. Deselect the default frontage, which is shown as a yellow highlighted line. Now select a different edge to define the new frontage. When you regenerate the building geometry, the front yard automatically faces the new assigned frontage. The house with setback development type that we just created derived a building footprint from the parcel's geometry by applying setbacks. This kind of development type makes sense for sites where there's no building footprint geometry defined. In other cases, we may have a building footprint associated with the parcels already. In these instances, we can use building footprints as a starting point for the development type rather than the parcel. Let's create such a development type that is meant for application to parcels where footprints are already defined. We'll call this new development type Retail and Residential. This is a mixed-use type of building with ground floor retail and residential units in the rest of the building. We'll start with an extrusion represented by the up arrow icon. To define the use of the first story, we'll change the use tag to Retail and change the number of stories to 1. We will see the utility of this tag in a bit. Next, we will define the visual style by selecting any texture from the drop-down menu for the retail facade. Now, we'll extrude the top surface to create residential floors above the retail. The use tag will be residential and the number of stories come from building table. Again, we'll pick a texture from the drop-down menu, select a range of hue, saturation and values for the roof color variations. Save the development type. Now you can apply it to any parcel. Right-click on this parcel and apply it from the menu. You will instantly see results on the building in the parcel. Let's add a little bit more complexity. What if you want the residential units to be set back from the retail below? Select the roof surface of the retail block and split it into 5 resultant surfaces. Assign a 1 meter offset value to split the surface. Now extrude the inner shape to designated stories from the building table. In tags, assign residential use. Apply desired textures and color range. When you hit save, you see that the buildings have a 1 meter upper level setback. You can also view buildings colored by tag. In this case, uses were assigned to different parts of the building. In the building layer menu, when you color buildings by tag, you can see buildings colored by use, retail in red, landscape in green, and residential in yellow. We will now analyze these tags based on area. From the View menu, open Area Takeoff window. Select desired buildings to be analyzed. A bar graph of use comparison appears. A similar analysis can be scaled up from the site scale to regional scale. Consider this study area where multiple development types have been applied. Watch the building use render in 3D. Select the study area and watch the area charts populate. Modify visual styles and tags to create a wide and rich variety of development types for your region.